But from April onwards, you will have all the time to travel and rest and play some shows.
Yeah.
That will be easy.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It probably will be compared to this, because you know what you're doing then. You have a schedule. You you get in a routine. I think when you don't have a routine and you're doing this and that, you get really worn out. Like, I think I feel more worn out now than I do when we're on tour.
Is there room for adventure while you're on the road? Because you have these little bits in every town and then you are gone already?
Yeah, there's sometimes.
Yeah, that's why you can, it's like mini adventures.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think that's part of the reason why touring can be really fucking intense sometimes, is because you have only these really little weird spaces of time before you have to get back in the van and go somewhere else, and then you just kind of go crazy in that little framework that you've got, and so you can end up in like some really weird situations on tour because of that.
But there is time, it's got a lot easier, obviously, for us to have a bit more freedom to see things, whereas in the beginning, we didn't really have any time at all. But now that it's kind of, it's got...
Yeah, our touring conditions got better.
Yeah.
I think we earned that right.
Then, I mean, they're
like
still quite
600
modest.
shows. I think we earned the right to have a few more days off than we used to, so we can actually go out and see some of these really cool places that we get to play.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you play in Utrecht a couple of years, I think 2 years ago or something. And there were all these men shouting, let's call them compliments at you. Just, that must happen all the time, I think. Is that something you can deal with?
God, I forget about all that stuff. I feel like it's been a while since we played. I don't know, I used to get really worked up about it, because even though it's like, compliments, it's not
not
really,
very pleasant.
No.
Compliments are pleasant.
And the thing that really frustrates me is like, it's just that it's, I don't know, it sort of takes away the fact that I feel like I'm a musician, and like I really work hard at it, and I write my guitar parts, I'm not just, I don't know, I just feel a little bit like it makes me feel like less of a serious musician, whereas they see Steve as more of a serious member, whereas actually, it wouldn't be Blubber Shoes if I wasn't in it.
Yeah, if you go on, if we put something up on YouTube, the first thing that will happen is somebody will say how much they like Laura's looks and how much they like my drumming, like every fucking time.
And like that.
And that is really depressing.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing for me after, I've been doing this for 8 years, and like, I was saying yesterday was my first, we did a guitar magazine. It wasn't actually just based on guitars, but there was a mention of it. And that's like the first time that I ever really get asked. Like, I don't ever get asked, and it's like, this is what I do, But yeah, it can be a bit annoying, but I don't really listen. I don't really hear it most of the time, so.
But does it happen often, or is that just a coincidence?
It does happen often, yeah, it does, but not like at every show, no.
Yeah, it varies, but
it varies,
it's definitely never gone away, put it that way.
No, it's never gone away.
The irony being, I would much rather that everybody just talked about my looks and talked about Laura's guitar.
But it's like, I think it's this weird thing with like, some people just like girls that play guitar, and that sounds weird. It's like, I could just be anybody, but because I'm playing guitar, it's like this, like, it's not even about that if you're any good or not, it's just some fascination that some people have.
But at the same time, it's a strength for you, because you have a good image,
I guess, but I don't know. I think it's...
Yeah, but we didn't start a fucking band to have a good image, did we? We started a band to try and make great fucking music.
And I'm not sure that really... I suppose it does. I'd be naive to say that doesn't help, I suppose, but in some way.
It's a strange thing, because like rock and roll since the dawn of time has been bound up with sex somehow, and it's been bound up with image in one way or another, and ideas that aren't just in the music. Like, it would be really naive not to admit that and not to see that. But I think there's an element to that which I'm really comfortable with, and there's elements to that which are really uncomfortable. There's a really weird contradiction in that. And it's something it's definitely kind of a confusing element of what we do.
I think I'd just be really happy one day if someone just asked me about my guitar playing.